Pedernales is an iconic Texas river that flows 130 miles through the heart of Texas Hill Country before it eventually joins the Colorado River at Lake Travis. The Pedernales supports a variety of agricultural pursuits, from ranching to farming to historic orchards, a budding wine industry, and a variety of outdoor opportunities including hunting, fishing, swimming, and hiking. Along its banks lie the historic and vibrant towns of Fredericksburg and Johnson City. The land that drains into the Pedernales, called the catchment area or watershed, covers more than 820,000 acres, 20,000 more than Big Bend National Park. It's 60 square miles bigger than the entire state of Rhode Island.
What we're going to talk about tonight is the Pedernales watershed. Between 4 and 5% of the annual rainfall in the Pedernales watershed goes right back into the Trinity Aquifer and produces 70,000 acre-feet of water.
The rain that falls anywhere within this area will either make its way through 3,000 miles of creeks and streams into the main stem of the river, or return to the water cycle through evaporation, or sink slowly into the aquifer. The Pedernales is intimately connected to the groundwater below it, both contributing to the recharge of underground aquifers and being fed by groundwater rising up to the surface in the form of seeps and springs. There are an estimated 1,200 natural springs within the Pedernales. In an average rainfall year, 24% of the inflow into Lake Travis comes from the Pedernales River. That inflow provides critical drinking water resources for the more than 1 million residents in Austin and further downstream. As you can see, the Pedernales is really much more than just a river. It is a critical source of water to the region and to all the individual landowners that own property in the basin.
The biggest single terrestrial environmental problem that we have in Texas, and it relates directly to our water supply, is the continued fragmentation of family lands. Texas loses rural and agricultural land faster than any other state. We lost over 2 million acres of ranch land and rural agricultural property between 1997 and 2007.
Unmanaged development and population increases could pose a real threat to our hill country natural resources, including the Pedernales River. With development comes fragmentation, habitat loss for our native species, and impervious cover and runoff.
5 to 10% urban impervious cover in a watershed, you start to see significant changes in the health of rivers and streams.
As landowners, residents, and stewards, there are 3 things that we can do to ensure the Pedernales stays healthy. First, smart, responsible land management throughout the watershed can enhance plant and animal communities. Less than 4% of the Pedernales River Basin is currently protected from development pressures under conservation easements or as public parkland. By putting some land into permanent conservation, we can protect it from development.
I'm not so concerned about my children or maybe even my grandchildren, because I hope I've educated them about how to take care of the land, but I don't know what's going to happen after that. And it's one way some of the specifications you build into the conservation easement, you can put limits on what people can do to it, so you can be sure that that land is conserved and taken care of.
Development is an inevitable part of population growth, but what if future development was done in a thoughtful way, with minimizing its impact on the landscape as one of the central goals? The Pedernales is an invaluable resource that supports countless plant, animal, and human communities within its catchment area and beyond. For more information, visit hillcountryalliance.org. The story of the river is ever-changing, handed down over generations. What is the story our children will tell of our stewardship of the Pedernales?